you've been calling me, and I'm happy that we met. Don't think that I'm not interested. I'm just playing hard to get. So much about this crazy game they call love that I'm trying to understand. So could you be my best friend before you call yourself my man? Why can't I love you in slow motion? Take my time, take away the pressure on my mind. Really get to. Good morning, folks. Ashley slept in later today, which is amazing for me anyway. We had a guest come over who winds up arriving at 3:30 in the morning, but I managed to go back to sleep. Wow. For me, getting 7 hours in sleep, pretty damn good. God, my eye. I had a cataract surgery on there like umpteen thousand years ago. Doesn't always take very well. I think I need a little more maintenance on that, my opinion. Anyway, wanted to touch up upon, and I'll give you examples how everything just happens in slow motion out here. Getting things done in an expedient way is just really seemingly an impossibility. It almost seems like everybody's operating on slow motion. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, go to any governmental office and don't expect expedient service. You're not going to walk in and walk out. It doesn't work that way at all. Well, I was a good example. I've been to a lot of these little social events here in the Philippines. And the one thing I've always noticed is that, when they say come at a certain time, you better figure about 2 hours later. Give it 2 hours for the event to start. All right, a good example is Gilda went to a wedding yesterday. Of course, in the heat of the day was the church wedding. She was actually part of the ceremony. I said, no, I'm not going to go to that. No. Because I knew better. I knew better. So it was hot there. They just have fans in a church, And I knew it was going. I said, okay, I'm going to go. I'll go to the reception. Okay, I'll go to the reception. But then came time for the reception. She called me and I said, you know what? I'm just not going. Because I've been to these receptions before and, fuck the free meal. I don't give a shit about that. But the way it usually works is from the church, they'll start all kind of filtering out, going over to the reception. And, it's you're not going to eat right away. I mean, there's a lot of, in between shit that goes on. I mean, I went to one reception, which was kind of funny on the beach. That was nice, but one time, it was our last time, and they had these Zumba girls come on just to fill in some entertainment. And every single one of them was like, let's just say extraordinarily obese. They weren't a great representative of the Zumba team, okay? I don't know who they were, but I think a lot of people were snickering. Anyway, it kind of works like this, people kind of they gather together at the reception, slowly filtering in, Well, no, it wasn't a Zumba wedding, but they had some Zumba at the reception, This speeches, they like to get on the microphone and they talk, or the bride will talk or something, and eventually then they have the groom talk, is how he loves his woman, all this stuff, and there's a certain kind of a regiment that goes on, like I've experienced with several of these things. But what usually happens is you have to wait till everybody kind of filters in, and gathers on there, and, it's catered, and, their caterers are still fooling around with the food and still organizing things and whatnot. And the basic fact is, it's a social thing, but people are going to the reception to freaking eat. That's what they're going there for, to eat, free food, that's what it's all about. But there's a lot of protocols. There's a lot of, as I said, like regimental stuff that goes on. You're like you're wanting to eat, but they're getting on the microphone. They might have somebody do a performance. They're going to play some music, romantic music. They're going to go through all these little steps, and then they get on the microphone again, and the bride will say something, and the groom will say something, and say, okay, gonna skip this crap and let's get to the damn food. But that doesn't happen for sometimes several hours. So when they say, for example, that the reception is at such and such o'clock, such and such time, you better figure anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours later before they're going to allow people to come up and start chowing down. And this has happened to everyone that I've ever been to. I generally eat dinner early. So to me, it's like, come on, bring it on, brother, bring it on. But sometimes you're also, one of them we went to was extremely windy. We're right on the ocean there, and extremely windy, and everything's blowing around. But it's okay because it was kind of cool. The weather, the temperature was cool, and that was okay. But still, you're lucky you get one plate full of anything, and then me, I'm very picky what I eat, and understand that most of the food, except for like chicken cordon bleu, they seem to serve that a lot out here. How they ever learned of chicken cordon bleu, I don't know. I was eating that for years. They don't make it very well, but it's probably the most edible thing on the plate. And half the stuff I was given to these stray dogs that would come up to the table, and they were brave. They were smart too. They put their paw up on your lap, and feed me, feed me, and I fed them. I fed them. Just, half the things on usually on the menu for these events are not a lot of things that I like to eat. Um, but it is a Filipino wedding. You got to keep that in mind. It's not an American wedding, but you'll find something there that you can actually eat. So then maybe you want to go back for seconds, but then the line's built up again. And believe me when I tell you, I see how they fill their place. But sometimes at these events, the caterers serve you. For example, they want the food to last, so they take the ladle out or whatever, and they'll put X amount of food on your plate. Like if there's any shrimp or something, I mean, maybe I want more than that. Maybe there's some of the stuff I just can't really eat. But at least give me something that I can eat. Okay, something that I can eat, but they'll be serving it to you. Where normally, any buffet situation, you go there and you pretty much take as much as you want of this particular item, that item. But a lot of these events, no, they're dishing it out to you how much they think that you need. So yeah, it's come on, thumbs up, folks. This is how it works in the Philippines. All right, it's uh, now even one of her friends said yesterday, no, I don't think I'm going to the reception. you know, because the wedding itself, at the church, it just dragged out. It was hot out. It was humid. Yeah. Good morning, Red Horse, and it was just kind of dragged out. And I'm not, look, I'm not a person with a lot of patience for anything. Okay, I don't want it to happen now. I want it to happen yesterday. So if you got that type of personality, you don't fare very well at events like this. You know, I mean, for example, if you go to church, I mean, there's a certain, like, I can't use any other word, but regiment, or there's a certain pattern or a procedure if you go to church, and uh, it's not just, you know, going in there and you're out a half hour later. There's a lot that goes on. The altar boys, they got to put that little incense thing with the smoke around so you could choke a little bit and ring a bell. And I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a churchgoer, obviously. So I mean, I, yeah, I'll burn if I go through the doors in there. But anyway, but especially in the Philippines, there's nothing that happens quick except uh, if a foreigner comes here and he meets a whore, he gets laid pretty quick. Lay out the money. whatever. But maybe that happens quick. But everything else is just slower than molasses, and it's just it drives me nuts. You know, I'm afraid to walk into a financial institution because they'll take a number. You could be sitting there for a whole hour, and you want to make a transaction or something, or deposit or withdrawal, even opening up a bank account. I mean, I remember when we did that, we must have been in there for an hour and a half because there's so much paperwork they want you to do and sign, and all kinds of identifications, social security number, all this stuff. Then they get distracted and they're doing something for somebody else. Now, look, you waited there that long already just to be seen at the counter. But then, you wouldn't think it was a big deal just to make a transaction in the bank. Hey, I'm going to take out a couple of 100,000 peso, whatever it is, a deposit. No, but you're there for a really long period of time. Sometimes if you go in the morning, plan on bringing a quick lunch snack or something, because sometimes you will actually need that. I'm not exaggerating here. I'm really not. I'm not trying to exaggerate. But this is the way things work out here, and you got to have a lot of patience, okay? And if you don't, then, it's even with transportation out here. The ferry's supposed to come in at a certain time, but it may leave even up to an hour later than that. Okay, I mean, before they take off. Okay, don't get yourself frustrated. Just accept the fact that this is the way things work out here. Anybody invites you over for dinner, even birthday parties. They say come here at a certain time, and nobody showed up yet. You're the first one. You don't want to be the first one. So if nobody showed up yet, I mean, party hasn't started yet. They're still setting up karaoke stuff, and well, I thought you told us to come here at X amount of time, which they did, but you're sitting around there waiting for other people to show up, and then they're going to set up their karaoke on there, and then, there'll be an hour or more people singing on a karaoke machine before they even serve any food. So, oi, I think you get the picture, that Philippines is slow motion. Don't expect anything expedient to happen out here or the way you would like it to happen in an expedient manner, because it's just not going to happen that way. Anyway, good morning to Jiffy Geechee, Red Horse. What's going down in Funky Town? A little more energetic this morning because I slept a little bit later. I wasn't even planning a show for the morning, actually. I've been feeling, my eye's been irritating me, my right eye. That's because anytime I use chemicals on my face, like retinol, and I use retinol sometimes, if you're familiar with retinol, so you go put your head on the pillow and somehow that retinol or whatever will get in your eye, and that's not good. So my eye's been kind of irritated. It's always my right eye, and that's the eye I had a cataract surgery from. I don't know how many decades back, but it seems that when you have a cataract, after years coming by, you might get some more material building up in there. You might have to go in for a second, evaluation of what's going on, or clean out, whatever. You might get some floaters in there. Floaters, they all float, I told the doctor. I said, they all float. And he said, yes, Frank, they do. They all float. Okay. Morning humor. Oh, what do we got here? We got 12 people here. Okay, I'll buy that. I'll accept that. What the hell? Anyway, what's going on with you guys? Subject matter was slow motion Philippines. I think I pretty much covered that. Just don't expect anything to happen as quick as you would like it to happen out here. If you can't handle that, well, I don't know. Philippines and beyond. I figured you'd show up here. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? No, I was just talking about how slow things move in the Philippines. Don't expect anything to happen the way you like it on time, whether it's events you're attending, receptions for a wedding, birthday parties. Just come about an hour and a half later than the time they tell you to come, because that's the time You're going to need to be there because you're never, ever going to get things happening at the time that they tell you to come to the event, Jerry. That's what's going on. And I was referring to this wedding reception yesterday I was supposed to go to. And she wound up going taking the kids, but I said, I'm not going there. She already went to the wedding at the church and all that stuff, and I didn't go to that. And I decided I didn't want to go to the reception. So I just go with the kids, and whatever. No good food there anyway. At Panyang's resort, it was at Panyang's resort, and they sell what they have there is Panyang's food. It's on their menu. I know it's on their menu. I've had it so many times. It's half the food there or more I can't even eat or don't want to eat. Jivigichi says, I was on a bus in Samoa once, and the driver drove to his house and went in and ate lunch. I believe, yeah. Then got back on and continued his route. Yeah. yeah. I can see that happening. I could definitely see that happening. Everything's on their own time. They're captain of their own ship. They do what they want. And that's amazing. A bus in Samoa. No. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that happening. I told you it's a different world out here, man. Entirely different world. It's like you're on a different planet sometimes, I don't know. Anyway, what is today? I don't even know the day of the week, to be honest. Is today Friday or Saturday? It's Saturday, right? Yeah. I don't even keep track of the days anymore. I mean, that's just how it is out here. I'm always asking Gilda, what's today? The 20 what? What is today? 29th? 30th? I don't even know the date of the month. It's funny when you're retired and you're living in another country. You don't really, I don't know. Only time I look at the clock is when I go to bed to see what time I'm going to bed and measure how many hours sleep I got. When I get up in the morning, I look at the clock. That's about the only time I'm ever looking at the clock. At 5 after 7 here. I know that time. Well, you got to go with the protocol. You got to go with how things go out here. You're not going to change. Just trying to change your diet out here. I was in a pharmacy 3 days ago talking to this one gal. She was nice. She was on the obese side. You're finding a lot of women out here now that are. And we would talk about different things for a short time I was there. And rice came up and she goes, that ain't going to happen. She said, not here in the Philippines. In other words, you know how it is. Rice is gold out here. She says, one thing that ain't going to happen out here, no matter how bad, because we were talking about a health issue or something and how rice has been pretty much killing people out here, really. She says, that's one thing that's never going to change. She said, preventing them from eating rice, including herself. And I'm thinking to myself, I know how she got obese because all that pork and all the fried food and everything and rice that they're eating. But you can't tell them anything about, their diet. Don't even try. It's just tradition. You're not going to change, It's like trying to change somebody's skin color. It just ain't going to happen. There's no soap on the market. Papaya soap. They're trying to make themselves look white-skinned with papaya soap. There's no scientific proof papaya is going to lighten your skin. But, they know that rice and they know that fried food is not healthy for them. But they do it anyway. I guess maybe out here in the Philippines, they kind of live by the thought that, which is not a bad or good either way thought, really. I want to enjoy myself now. I want to eat what I want. If I drop dead, fine. Well, I think that's pretty much what they do, and then something disastrous happens to them. They wonder why. I'll give you an example. The wedding, now that the gal's getting married, her mom comes in there with a wheelchair. She has no legs. Well, gee, duh. How did that happen? Diabetes. It's crazy out here with the diabetes. She lost her legs because she was diabetic. Then the father was also in a wheelchair because he has, what did he have? I forgot. But it's all related to the typical illnesses that you see here in the Philippines all the time. All the time. People, because he had strokes. That's right, he had strokes. Yep. Both. The very top of the list, things that happen out here. How about a little more thumbs up, folks? Throw the crocodile some fish here, you know what I mean? Some thumbs up. My goodness. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed last night's upload. I try not to put my gal on camera, barely ever, but we just decided to have a little fun. And no, I can't make her part of my show all the time. I don't want to do that to her. But we had some fun on camera. What the hell? I seem to get a good response to that, seemingly. Anyway, planned for today. Oh gosh, I don't know. I gotta find some shit to put in my eye. My eye's been irritated. My eyes always get irritated very easily. I don't know why, but especially my right eye. And that's the eye that I had the cataract surgery on eons of time ago. I think the next time I go to the lovely Cebu, try to make the best of my time and just go see an eye doctor, get tested again. And I know I have an astigmatism, of my eyes. I know that, an astigmatism. But lately, my sight has been clear, and then one day everything looks a little bit out of focus, not as clear as the other eye. Then both eyes might be a little bit. I imagine that my left eye probably has some cataract activity. This just happens when you get older. The great thing about cataracts is that can be corrected and all that, so they do a good job. They're just replacing your lens in there, which they did on my right eye. Are we not energetic today, folks? How many? We got 15 watching, but only 3 people on here, whatever, that's made any comments at all. Is that a sign I should get off? Yeah, maybe so. Jerry usually have a lot to say. I'm sorry, somebody else's show on. We wouldn't want to keep you from that, Jerry. Oh, geez. And no, remember, we're not talking about trolls on here, although I'm very tempted to come up with a subject here on somebody, but I'm holding back, man. Give me some credit. I'm holding back. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. I've always got a lot to say about those topics. But we're kind of keeping it clean, like a clean machine on here, if you don't mind. I kind of likes it this way. Even if we don't have a whole lot of dialogue, I mean, it's cool. But I think that's part of what's going on here. Unless I'm talking about a troll or something, then I'll see a lot of activity on my comment section here. They're not too active. If it was a little later in the day, like 10 o'clock, I'm sure I'd have a lot more activity on my channel. If I was going to do a show, I should have just started later. Like I said, I'm not, why do you think Dr. Abrams ran Abrams? I don't follow that stuff. I don't follow all that stuff. Jeff, you asked me that last time. I guess if their feet are cold, they probably do. I would think they would. I hope they would. I mean, the little tootsies, maybe they're very sensitive to temperature. Radio-free Negro Soviet. What do you think of Dr.? I don't know. I don't know of a Dr. Dre. What do you think of Dr. Abrams? Abrams. I know that name. Abrams. I know the name, but I don't follow that show. If it's what I'm thinking of. I don't follow these. I call them obscure channels. Which are channels I don't follow. And I've heard of their names or references to their names, but I'm not really all over the planet on YouTube, really. And lately, I really haven't been. Of course, I'll tune into some of the clown shows here and there just to see what the gossip is, but that's about it. And even so, I just catch, just little tidbits of it, because I can't sit there with some people for any length of time to hear what they have to say, because it just could be very irritating just to look at them or listen to their voice. Yeah, I do think aliens wear socks. I think when needed. Yeah, I think so. And they probably wear hoodies too. Now, aliens look cool with hoodies. I mean, that big-headed ears, the big eyes. You put a hoodie on that, man. That'd be pretty cool looking. Remember, you got the Greys out there. One of the species that the government, they know all about them. They call them the Greys. So there's different species of aliens out there, but one of them is called the Greys because, well, they are kind of gray-skinned in color. How do I know this? Man, I've seen them. I tell you, man, I've partied with them. The Greys. And they drink like a fish. They act stupid as hell when they drink. I was abducted, too, at one time. A very long time ago, I was a kid. I was abducted by aliens. What do you got there? Oh, you got pictures already?
Yes,
How'd you get that? Right away? It's just taken and you got a picture on a print already?
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
I bet alien clothes have some interesting features. Never wrinkle. Yes. Just like They have a metallic material that you could just, you just bunch it up and it returns to its original shape. Now, I've heard of this before, metal that you can't bend. They were trying to do that to come up with cars that have a metal, is for the future, that if it's dented, it'll automatically go back into its original shape. Oh yeah, metallurgists they're working with stuff like this. Oh yeah, interesting features. I'm sure they do. I'm sure it does. So little we know about aliens. They're among us, like the fungus is among us. The fungus among us. And that's actually a book, actually, or a documentary called "The Fungus Among Us." There's a lot of fungus among us, believe me. Yeah, but aliens are everywhere, man. That's the fact. I don't know about reptilians, like the madman talks about, but I do believe right here on our planet there are aliens. And they're doing a good job of hiding, or they're doing a great job of blending in. You remember that movie? It's called They, Them, or something. You remember when they wear these special sunglasses, and they could see people walking by, and they could see whether or not they're alien or not? What was that? What was it called? Them or They? Who remembers the title of that one? Jiffy, you must remember the title. That was actually fairly good sci-fi movie, I think. What are you doing with your purse on? You going somewhere? Where are you going?
Buy rice, buy something, water for
No.
water.
I mean, if you wait a while, I might go with you. I don't know, but all right. I don't know. I'll probably have some cereal for breakfast, some muesli. Yeah, put more blueberries in it or something, or make a drink or something. They Live, that's the one. That's the name of They Live. And it's there's such propaganda around on billboards and everything, and the only people that could read these things are people who wore these glasses. They could see who was an alien. And then the police department, everyday people, they took over. The aliens took over, and they were holding regular jobs and everything, like we would, and they was just all over the place. Now, is that impossible? No, it's not impossible. Not impossible at all. But I think they're hiding in broad daylight is what it is. I think they're among us, just like the fungus is among us. I think they're in broad daylight, right in front of us. We don't know who they are. I personally think that we are hybrids. Okay, if you look at evolution and everything, and the Anunnaki that was here, uh, the Shining Ones. Yeah, I don't want to go really deep into all this shit. That would take hours. But they've been here. There's been genetic reengineering of early species of man. Uh, and I believe that there is both extraterrestrial and terrestrial beings that are right here on this planet that's been here forever. Now, why are the aliens taking such concern on the missile plants and nuclear plants? Well, it has been definitely documented that a lot of strategic bases, military bases, where they have missiles or they have any kind of uh, nuclear provisions, there has been alien spacecrafts that have hovered over these places, not just in America, but every other places too, seeking information and as a warning. And did you ever hear the story of the expedition in Antarctica, Admiral Byrd? Admiral Byrd had flew in a plane that went into this big abyss in Antarctica. Now, I don't know what the circumstances why he was flying into this big abyss with this airplane at the time, early aeronautics. All of a sudden, it was like in his brain, through mental telepathy from an alien, that they were telling him that you have to, it was a warning, basically. It was a warning that we live on this planet too. We live on this planet too. That by having wars and any kind of future nuclear type or atomic bomb activity is also going to be destroying their life too. They're making their life subterranean. Well, we're not. And their concern is that they live on this planet too. And what screwed up things that we do to the planet, such as our environment and everything else, is affecting them too. So does that sound absurd? Does it sound bizarre? Well, I'm thinking out of the box. I've always believed that there were other intelligent life on Earth, and why not? I think you'd have to be pretty arrogant to think that we're the only people in the galaxy, the only planet that would harbor life. Do you know there's one planet out there, and I forgot what they labeled it and how they find these things? I don't know. Where the whole planet is all water. The whole planet is all water. Now, how the hell do they know these things? I have no clue. Even the greatest telescope in the world, how can they get that information and find these other planets? How do they know? It's not even in our solar system. I mean, how do they know this stuff? It's amazing itself. Go figure, huh? But there are a lot of planets with life on it, life that may not be similar to our life, which is microscopic. Or they could be a parallel universe out there where it's a planet just like ours. The right amount of atmospheric gases, of nitrogen and hydrogen and oxygen and everything to make everything able to grow and live and thrive that depend on oxygen. Go figure. Maybe in my lifetime, I'll find out. Maybe everything will come to light, and the government and will admit we've been hiding this from a long time. Although we haven't been doing a very good job, you people pretty much figured it out pretty well. And the informants that have come by, and you see, Chiefy Geechee started this whole thing, so don't get mad at me, folks. He was asking me, do I think that aliens wear socks? That's how we got into this. It's Chiefy Geechee's fault. It's not mine. My goodness. Okay, I'm on here kind of early. I think I'm going to get off this thing here because we're kind of going on some wacky subjects on here right now. I might just keep this on a while. I don't know if it's worthwhile. I don't know if I'll do another show today. I really was planning on doing a show about 10 o'clock. But the computer was in front of me, and there it was, like a beacon in the night. Yeah, you started it, Chiefy. You fucked up on there. Talk about aliens. Then you got me going. On there. I love Lucy and she loves me. We are happy as we can be. The damn song is still on my mind. I Love Lucy song. My goodness. Oh my. So everything's going through. All these messages on Messenger I got here. I see, but
Okay.
shall be done. He's trying to. Oh. Is there a BST Licky live? Oh, you going now?
Yeah.
What do we need? Get what you think we need. You sure you don't want? I could get dressed if you want. No, all right, go ahead. Bring your bag. Oh, we might need more toilet paper. Yeah. Go see. No, we don't. Gotta have toilet paper around here, folks. Okay, what is this now? I'm reading something here. Not on there, of course. I got word here, not the one to talk about. Did Licky do a live? About halfway through, he had a lot to say about Bama. Looks like Bama has fired him. Start his video at about 30 minutes from the beginning. Oh, we got enough for now? Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to think. We're okay on sit. Okay. Remember, you got all these people. We're gonna have enough drinks. We're gonna have enough. Oh, your hands out for some money. Oh, you mean you need money? You're a rich lady. You're a rich woman. You're a rich woman, huh?
You don't reimburse me.
Reimburse you? I bought you a house.
Next time.
I bought you a house. What do you want from me? How much you need? 2,000 for what? What are you buying?
You see lang when I come back.
2,000 pesos?
I buy rice.
My goodness. Huh?
Thank you.
Mwah. All right.
Yes, not enough. I pay for the taxi. I pay for the
What taxi? We don't have a taxi here. You mean the?
When I come back, you said.
Oh, you still holding me
Jackson,
to?
buy me a cereal. Buy me a milk. Buy me something. Give somebody to someone.
I don't know. Isn't a house enough in my
No.
life? No.
No, that was my personal money I spent.
My goodness. All right, dear. She's right. I asked her to put out some stuff for me the other day. Well, back when she was in Cebu. I forget about that. So let me see here. Looks like Bama has fired Ricky pretty much. Fired Ricky. I gotta find this. Are you talking about Ricky did a video? Okay, halfway through. He had a lot to say about. Oh, we gotta listen to this here. Let me see if I can find that, folks. Oh, okay. All right. So it's let's see if I can find this. So we're gonna play that. Totally had a lot to say about Barry. Apparently Barry fired him. Fired his ass, man. 8 hours, but this must be it here. The hell is this? Okay, let's fast forward here. Okay. I know he's in some fucking whorehouse somewhere, as usual. Here we go.
She was on a live stream today. Nobody was on it. She was on a live stream with this other Filipino. He had 174,000 subs and he had 11 in the chat. That was on there like, yeah. And, but yeah, it'd be pretty cool if she like actually, she's like, she goes back, I guess she's going back to Cavite tomorrow, out to her family's house or whatever. No, they never met, man. Listen, man, the boss.
I'm just trying to find a part of it. He's talking about Barry. Hold on.
You're part of the reason. So there you got 300 the bus on.
Come on,
Come
man.
celebrate iHerb's 27th anniversary.
Hold on, I'm
with
gonna find
27%.
Come on, some memorandum saying that I have license in the facility. Taking my whole legal name on the document. And I got thrown on the bus on that, bro. And I want their partner to celebrate, bro. I want celebrating. So there I got thrown on the bus on that, bro. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. I'm there trying to raise money, make some contacts, trying to get him out of jail. You know, not doing anything to help him. And then Barry lost his disability money, man. You don't have any more disability money, man. So I'm like, Barry, make me Copycat Channel Grievous, make us kind of returning our security so we can do something. Because we need to get a doctor in there and have him sign his medical check so we can send it to security and get his security reinstated. He won't do it. He's refusing to do it, man. He goes, I don't trust anyone to do it. I'm like, we can get somebody. Somebody's birthday. Anyway, so what a mess, man. What a mess, man. I did my best. That's all I know. I did my best. I was up there doing my best each and every day. I couldn't go see Barry because he threw me out of the bus, man, with some, saying that I was out in the live streaming in the facility and gave everything up, man. So I couldn't go back to the facility, bro. I mean, I couldn't go back. I didn't go back to get his passport, though, because I had this high-ranking person that I got introduced to. And he's like, listen, go back to his passport, and I'll go up there and see what I can do. But I need his passport because he can't be deported unless immigration has his passport. His passport's no good in the cell. It needs to go to immigration. He's high-ranking official woman. So I'm like, okay, so I go get it from him. And I said, listen, man, you gotta get his passport. And he's flipping out about it, man. But that passport needs to be in Manila because they can call or they can do something or they can say this is what needs to happen in order to get you out, man. And it's like they need everything now. Everything's done. It's all there, man. It's challenging. Nobody cares anymore, man. Anyway, so I did my best. That's all I know. I did my best. But I did my best. I became Phil M, bro. I can Philippine American. I'm a Philippine American now. I'm a Philippine immigrant. Okay, I mean, I went through.
Anyway, apparently the love affair between Ricky and Barry's over. It was over when he first started the campaign. Anyway, Free Barry J. That just didn't happen. I don't know what he's talking about. That Barry don't have his SSI. That's bullshit. Now, unless you guys know something I don't, but I don't see how he would lose it. That's bullshit. If he was convicted of something, he doesn't have a conviction, okay, then maybe, just maybe, I could see that they might stop his payments. But other than that, I really don't know. I got to find out more what's going on here with that. Let's see something here. Okay.
Cares. Nobody cares anymore, man. Anyway, so I did my best. That's all I know. I did my best. But I did my best. I had to keep Phil in, bro.
Well, he did his best to wipe out the pockets of Barry. Well, any donations that were coming in. And
cares. Nobody cares anymore.
Anyway, enough of that. I think the Barry show here. But apparently things ain't going the way he likes. And, oh well, what can I really say to that? Folks, not much dialogue going on, so that means it's time for me to split. Later, man.